In the last video, we identified that Japan was a potential good market for this product, which we said was hypothetically your product that you're currently selling on Amazon.com. So we compared Germany, UK and Japan, and we saw that the competition and the sales potential in Japan was at a level that is probably a really good opportunity for this product to launch there. So what we've gone and done now is we're going to dive deeper into the market just to see what the opportunity really is like, what the competition really is like, a little bit deeper than just a best-selling product. So here we have the best-selling product. This is a product we looked at in the last video. And just to quickly recap, we said, it's got really good images, pretty good images, average title, average bullets. It's got enhanced brand content, if I go down. And it's also got an Amazon store page. So this is a pretty good listing. 124 reviews, which is alright, but its review rating is less than 4, it's 3.8, so there is potentially an opportunity here. But if we dive a little deeper, so what about the other competitors? Let's have a look at the top 3 competitors. So the number 2 selling product at the moment, although it's saying bestseller now because this jumps bestseller position with the other product that we just looked at, and this is quite important because also this number 3 selling product here also has a similar bestseller rank to the other 2 products, so it kind of suggests that they're doing the same kind of sales and the jump places, which means there's not one dominant seller, which could be a good thing. Okay, so this number 2 product, it's got a better quality title. It looks like it's trying to fit in some keywords and appeal to more people. However, this longer title may or may not be penalised in the future from Amazon because they want a shorter one. The images, again are of a decent to good quality, although they're a bit heavily small size, heavily annotated, so on mobile this will look quite cluttered. Bullets are obviously going for the more standout traditional that you see quite a lot of sellers in America and Europe using, highlighting the main sort of feature or benefit, and then a bit more of a descriptive bullets here, which is good. They've got lots of SKUs as well. High selling price. So again, if we go down, these guys do not have enhanced brand content, and in fact I'm struggling to find a description of any sorts here. So this isn't great, so it means that they're missing out on a lot of potential search volume because of a lot of the keywords here, and also they're not helping to convince the customer that this is a product for them in the description. It's only got 17 reviews, which is pretty amazing. It's number 1 bestseller at the moment. It's Jump Place. So number 1 bestseller in this category only has 17 reviews and an average review rating of just 3.1. So straight away, that's a light bulb, an alert to say that, what, if I come in with a great quality listing, I can compete straight away with this one. So the 3rd bestseller is this product. It's got a shortest title, but that's not necessarily bad if it's got the main keywords in. Bullets are very short. This is probably too short. It's just picking out probably features from the back end that you fill out in the edit screen of the listing. It's not an actual looking at the benefits and features, so this can be improved upon a lot. And they're selling 5 different variations, 2 different sizes, so that's 10 different SKUs in total. The images are not bad. They show what the product is quite easily. Not great, there's not a lot of variation in them, but it does show what the product does, so it's not bad. Again, it's a high selling price. If you scroll down, this one's got a small description, but again, no enhanced brand content. So that's something that's that can be improved upon again and can be done better if you were going to come in as a competitor. What I've done is I've created a more thorough report for this hypothetical product. So basically it's a full market analysis. This is something that we do at Rising Sun Commerce, but I've done it here for this hypothetical one just to show you how you can tell if it's a market for you. So I'll discuss through some data here, then I'll go up to this written summary just to highlight it. So if you were selling this product, which we've pulled down on the left here, so this is the product you sell in America and you want to launch in Japan. So straight away you can compare what's the quality of the images like. So sometimes competitors might not have any images here or just one image, but in this case the competitors' images are decent, pretty good, but this gives you a nice opportunity to compare them side by side as if a customer was comparing them side by side, so you can still see who is your listing up to scratch. So in this case it probably is. These competitors have heavily annotated images, but that's not necessarily a really positive thing, especially on mobile experience where the images are quite small. Your listing, if this was your listing, is pretty good, but it could potentially be improved upon because you may need to take it up a slight level to compete. Although if you can get a video on your listing like this does in the US, then that would help a lot as well. So here we can quickly compare the bullets side by side, and again the bullets look okay quality. I know you probably can't read Japanese, but you can tell there's a lot of detail in most of them, and as long as it's giving the customer all of the information they need, they're not bad bullets, although they are quite short and just main features and specifications rather than trying to sell the product, so you can definitely improve on there. And again, same with the titles. So if we get into this information, so that's just the thumbnail images. It's giving you information here on the brand that's selling and the category they're selling in. The price point, this is important, so if you've got your price you can see how you can compete here. Number of reviews, so you see two of the top three listings have around 130 reviews, which is okay but not amazing. But listing number 2 here only has 17 reviews, so straight away you know you can compete, and all three competitors have a review rating of less than 4, so it's not great. See enhanced brand content, 2 of the top 3 sellers haven't got enhanced brand content, so that's straight away you can compete there. And I'll look at these numbers a bit more later. I'll come back to this. So in a written summary, so if we were going to carry out this market research, we would give you this information and then we would suggest whether we think it's a potential market, or you can see yourself. So there does, you know, from this data, there does seem to appear to be a strong market for these kind of bed rails, bed guards on Amazon Japan. From this data, the numbers change all the time, but it looks like the best-selling product sells around 300 units a month, and revenue of around, what we'd say, $11,000 a month is generated from the best-selling product, which, you know, not enormous numbers, but it's not a bad number. So over $120,000 a year in revenue from this one product. It's not bad. The combined sales of the top 3 sellers is worth approximately $400,000 a year in revenue. So you know, if you can break into that and take a lot, if you can dominate this market, because none of these main competitors are dominating at the moment, they're each doing a similar amount of sales. So if you go down here, you know, this one's doing 270 sales, this one's doing 274 sales a month, just estimate, this one's doing 217, so they're all doing a similar number of sales a month. So if you can get in there and kind of take away a large proportion of all 3 of those seller sales, you could take a big chunk of this, up to maybe 200,000, maybe half of this money you could get in if you get in there strongly. So historically, so if we just look over the last 3 months, we've shown that the tables have been, the listings have been performing better. So this listing, for example, which is the number 1 listing here, historically we've seen that it has been doing up to about 25 units a day, which equates to nearly $600 a day, which if they could maintain that sales level over a year, that could be over $200,000 worth of sales a year. We've seen the other 2 products in the table below have had sales of 20 a day. So again, it does show there is a competitive, a strong market in Japan for this kind of product, because it can do these kind of levels of sales a day. And we got that data from these bestseller graphs, so I can expand these out here to see it in more detail. So this is just the bestseller ranking over a 3-month period, and you can see, well, you can't see it too clearly there, but if we look at this interactive, we can see that it's had a bestseller rank here of, you know, 150 there, 200 there, and that kind of bestseller rank equates to around the 20-25 unit sales a day. So, you know, all through July it's been up and down near this 150, 200 bestseller rank mark, so it can potentially do that. For whatever reason, something's happened here, maybe the competitors come in and take away some of its sales, or their price has been too high, or the stock levels have wavered, whatever it is, something's happened there, but they've come back down and they're pushing towards that same kind of level of sales again now. So it shows that historically there has been a lot of sales, and if you look at the other competitors, we can see the same thing. So they've dropped here around the 400 bestseller rank mark, and again if we look at the third competitor again, they've had periods of around 200 to 300 bestseller rank mark. So there is sales there to be had in this market. Okay, so the competition, the quality of the competition. So as we've gone over before, the quality of the competitions are listings are average to good. The images are generally of a high standard, but the titles and bullets are generally written to average to a good standard. But there is definitely room for improvement in both the images and the title and bullets. There's a mix of listings. Some have enhanced brand content, some don't. This means there's definitely an opportunity there as well. And when there is enhanced brand content, it's not of the highest A+ content quality that you can have. So there is definitely room for improvement here. And store pages, some listings have it, some don't. And suggesting from the sales, and that no one's particularly dominating, no one listing or brand is dominating, there is an opportunity here to do some brand ads and drive sales through the brand, where you can have lots of videos and extra media on there too. Review ratings, they're all below 4-star, so for all the main sellers, which is not particularly good. And as we've highlighted before, the number 2 bestseller, and that regularly has number 1 bestseller spot, only has 17 reviews and an average rating of 3.1. So there's definitely an opportunity. You could come in now and you could compete straight away, and definitely probably have an advantage, because I'd rather sell with no reviews compared to selling with 3.1 star review. Other notes, the number 2 best-selling product, which is this one here, which we estimate does about $13,000 worth of sales a month at the moment. It's only been selling on Amazon Japan for 78 days, so that's less than 3 months, which suggests that you can come in with a new product and compete relatively quickly in Japan, like this one has. So there you go. It's just a really quick summary showing you a report that you can generate to get a lot more data about the competitors and draw some conclusions about the size of the market and the level of the competition, and whether there's an opportunity for your product. So just to go back to the main point, if you sell this product, especially if you've got a bit of money behind you to do a bit of marketing at the start, and Amazon sponsored products, Amazon sponsored brands, and set up your listing perfectly, then you can definitely compete on Amazon Japan. Pretty confident with that. This number 2 best-selling product has 17 reviews, 3.1 average rating. You could come in straight away and compete with these, and none of them are looking to aggressively market against each other. So there is definitely an opportunity, I feel, in Amazon Japan, and the size of the market is big enough. If you could take a share of this $400,000 a year, you could take a big chunk of that. If you could get to the bestseller spot, then I would go for it. If this was my product, I would go for it in Japan. So this is obviously a real product, but obviously it's hypothetical. It's just made up that it's your product. But if you do have products that you're selling on Amazon and you feel you could increase revenue or reduce the risk by having your products spread across different Amazon markets, then you would look to do an in-depth report like this to really drill down into the level of competition, the size of the market, the potential for sales. Then you can estimate, you can see whether it's worth expanding into Japan, and you can also estimate how many units you would look to send across initially, and how aggressively you think you would need to be on ads to start competing with the current bestsellers. So again, to reiterate, in this case, it probably wouldn't be too hard to start competing against these top 3 sellers in Japan for this kind of product.